For watching. Let's head out to the Holly Farms 400. You know what's coming.
We're ready to hear those. We're ready to hear those famous words from the Grand Marshal, Mr. Dennis Martin. Fans, for the moment you've all been waiting for. Gentlemen, start your engines. Let her go!
And so for the final time, the command has been given to the NASCAR Winston Cup drivers. What began in 1949 ends today at this 5/8 mile speedway known as North Wilkesboro. She's given us memories that will last a lifetime. From a dirt track with the Ford and Chevy coupes to today's aerodynamic rockets, the storied facility has seen it all. The best drivers in the country have competed here, but we're nearing the time to say goodbye.
This is going to be the fondest farewell of all for 40-year-old Ted Musgrave. Musgrave, who is trying to win his first one. How appropriate for Elmer and Arlene's youngest boy, who may get his first win on the track hosting its last race. But there are three drivers who have more at stake today. They're talking about the overall picture of the points race. We're talking about Gordon, Labonte, and Jarrett. Jeff Gordon's won on every short track on the circuit except this one. Today, his last chance. Terry Labonte won here for the first time 9 years ago, driving for Junior Johnson. He goes for number 5 today. And Dale Jarrett, well, he wouldn't have minded if they stopped coming here 5 years ago. In 18 starts, he has never had a top 5 finish. But Bill Weber, there is so much at stake for so many here today.
Jerry, for guys that have won here, leaving is even more difficult. Guys like Wallace and Martin want to be the final winner at Wilkesboro, like Rusty was at Riverside. But while everyone wants to win this race, Dale Earnhardt wants to win a race. He was 3rd here in the spring. If he wins today, this will be win number 3 at Wilkesboro in 1990, in the 90s rather, and win number 3 this season. And Earnhardt's last win came 22 races ago in Atlanta. The longest he's gone with Richard Childress without winning a race is 23 events. John Kernan.
Bill, ever since NASCAR first started coming here to North Wilkesboro in 1949, the competition level has intensified, and that is illustrated today by the fact that the winningest active driver at this track, Darrell Waltrip, needed a champion's provisional to make it into the field. DW with 10 career victories. Just how competitive is the field today, from the pole position to the 32nd place starter, separated by just a quarter of a second.
I tell you what, Ned, I've been coming here a long time. 1948, I saw my first race here.
Well, you know, you must have came about the same time I did. I didn't see you. There were probably, what, 1,500, 2,000 people here. But we sat in these stands. They were wooden stands back then, and enthusiastic crowds like we have here today.
And the racetrack was dirt back in 1940. It's paved now, but let me tell you something. It's about as slick and about as hard to control as a dirt track.
It is one of the toughest tracks on the circuit to set up for. Downhill down the front straightaway here, uphill on the back stretch. Very difficult to set the race car up for it, so it's tough for the drivers and the crew.
So a lot of fond memories for Ned and Benny, and so too for many of you viewers out there, because we have televised more races from here at North Wilkesboro than any other. This is our 30th telecast from this facility, beginning back in 1982. Well, the cars are rolling out, and as we enter the 27th race of the 1996 NASCAR Winston Cup season, Terry Labonte an 81-point deficit from his teammate Jeff Gordon. Dale Jarrett and Dale Earnhardt are 162 and 341 points back. And there you can see that as you look through 6 through 10, it's a pretty tight battle there from 6 through 10 on. Well, we prevail now and show you the last starting grid for a NASCAR Winston Cup race here at North Wilkesboro. It's Ted Musgrave on the pole and Jeff Gordon alongside. Back in the second row, Bobby Hamilton, a driver who has had some good starts recently, looking for his first NASCAR Winston Cup win, along with Mark Martin. Ernie Irvin, who made his return to NASCAR Winston Cup racing a year ago at this facility, starts alongside Johnny Benson. And in the next row, we see Derry Cope and Bobby Hillen.
And Cope, after not qualifying at Martinsville last week, great qualifying run here. Michael Wallace and Rusty Wallace were seen back in the row 5. And there we see Earnhardt, as we said, in row 6. Jeff Burke, Sterling Marlin.
Some great competition all back through the field. You see Terry Labonte. Everybody's pointing towards that guy. And his little brother Bobby, too, will be a factor in this race.
So what are the keys to winning here, guys?
The keys are coming off that corner and not spinning the rear tires.
Takes a lot of patience. You have that horsepower at your command. Just press that accelerator, but boy, sometimes that can be your biggest enemy on this racetrack, because as Denny says, you spin those tires, then you start slipping and sliding worse and worse and worse. The first thing you know, you can't get off the corners.
You know, engine builders try to get as much horsepower as they can at each and every racetrack except this one. They still have that horsepower up at 8,000 RPMs, but at 6,500 RPMs, they detune the engines so that they try to keep the drivers from spinning those rear tires.
Let's take a look at those who failed to qualify for this final event here at North Wilkesboro. Ward Burton, Dick Trickle, and Gary Bradbury.
And it was sad to see anyone have to miss a race here.
Lots of onboard cameras for you here this afternoon. That, of course, is the roof cam on Dale Jarrett. We are set for the green flag here.